Hello and welcome to the 1930s. This is a podcast brought to you by 250 Reasons. This broadcast contains explicit language, spoilers, and opinions, so strap yourselves in.
Hello and welcome to 250 Reasons to Stay Indoors. I am Jordan.
I am Keiran.
And today we have watched The Elephant Man. The reason for the British accent. Incredibly British cinema.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. I will be talking like this the whole time.
I won't. I was just watching this film though. I was just like, man, it feels good to be English.
Oh my god, it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I just love. I mean, I love Anthony Hopkins, and just. I mean, obviously it was in 1980, so and it was old, but obviously they had films that didn't have to be black. It didn't have to be black and white. It wasn't in an era of black and white only films. They chose to do it in black and white, set in the Victorian times. Just very, very British.
Oh man.
So
one of my favourite British things, quickly on that point, is there's a point in the film where there's a guy who's really angry, and he says, and he's trying to dismiss someone. He says, "Good afternoon," and I just want that to be a thing. That when you're trying to get someone to be like, "and fuck off," you're like, "Good afternoon, sir."
Don't worry, I've got a couple of phrases that I just loved in this, so we'll get to that. But right, first of all, Keiran, your 15-second elevator pitch, please. 1, 2, 3, go.
A man who is biologically disfigured gets found by a doctor. He treats him and can't cure him, but cares for him in a hospital. Then the guy who owned him in the circus tries to get him back, but then can't find him. Happily ever after, and he dies at the end.
18 seconds.
Nah, I was weak.
Yeah, that was
I didn't prepare that one.
You could, yeah. You just didn't say the end. You just sort of stumbled there.
Yeah,
so, no.
man, it's a really hard one to sum up because
because nothing really happens.
It's quite a simple story, but there's too many little things that happen.
Yeah. I mean, after watching The Hun, I was already in like an emotionally fragile place, and then watching this. It's weird. I don't know really where I sit with it because obviously, you know, as you said at the end, at the end he kills himself. But which is sad, but it's kind of a nice killing himself. You know, I'm really conflicted with how I feel about it
because he's summing everything up.
Yeah,
just before he goes to bed.
Yeah, and he literally says as he makes the cathedral, like, "Oh, it's perfect."
Exactly.
And it's like he's finished. He's done. He's like he's had like, such a brilliant thing. Anyway, like let's go through the film. First point for me, the like surreal intro of the elephants and stuff. I've literally got it written down. It's dark, creepy. The music is disturbing, and there's elephants. I'm 100% behind this.
Yeah, I had the opposite.
Oh really? You didn't buy that?
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, piss off," and I was just like, "Get out of the imagery." And I thought it was going to be a horror film. And that's why, and when I saw that, I just thought, no. I've even written, how can I already tell that this is going to be crap? I thought it was going to be rubbish, and I thought I wasn't going to like it at all.
Yeah.
But it turns out that all of that imagery kind of had relevance later on. I still didn't really like any of it, apart from the one later on where he's getting beaten up by a bunch of people. I felt like that one made sense. But the whole thing with the elephants is like, he's not really an elephant, is he?
No.
So the whole story about his mother getting killed when she was 4 months pregnant and all of this, and got like, I don't know, raised by elephants or whatever.
Well, that was just the spiel that.
That was just the spiel.
What's his name? Brile?
Nah.
Brights.
Bites. I think. Well, I don't know if it's actually Bates, but because of the little Cockney kid, Mr. Bites. Maybe it just sounds like.
But where's that? No, yeah, I wrote that down. So, oh no, that was another point. Anyway, no, when
By the way, the angry good afternoon. Sorry, It was actually good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Yeah,
That was the angry
good
one.
day, sir.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, that's just how you told people to fuck off in the Victorian age.
Exactly.
So they've obviously got that section at the start with the elephants, and at the end that weird bit where it's just on the picture of his mother. And there's a weird phrase. It's actually from it's from a poem.
Romeo and
Actually.
Juliet.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so when they took the executive producer who was Mel Brooks, who actually didn't put his name in the in any of the credits.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, because because apparently he's so tied to or associated with sort of satire. He didn't want the people to get the wrong idea about the film, so he just basically kept his name off it. But basically, when they took it to the Paramount Studio executives, he said this quote, I'm going to read to you because it's cool, because the Paramount Studio executives wanted to cut those sequences out. And this is what Mel Brooks said to them. He said, "We are involved in a business venture. We screened the film for you to bring you up to date as to the status of that venture. Do not misconstrue this as a soliciting the input of raging primitives." Literally just saying, look, guys, I'm only showing you the film to let you know where it's at. You have no input here. I think that's just so ballsy.
Yeah, that is
kind
kind
of cool.
I'm glad you explained that to me because
Right.
what the quote was in my head was just a bunch of words that you just said that make no sense. I mean, I understand what they mean independently, all of those words, but strung together doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can get from just the way this, so do not misconstrue this as our soliciting the input of raging primitives. Just calling them raging primitives and say, look, guys, you're idiots. We know what we're doing. We're just telling you.
Primitive.
Yeah, so no, I thought that was kind of cool. I'm really about that sort of like weirdness stuff going on.
I'm not really about that because that was on the same level as the unicorn scene in Blade Runner.
Yeah. Okay, no, but that's. I think the thing is though, that scene was in sort of it just came out of nowhere. Whereas this is like to bring in. You don't actually know what's going on at this point.
If Blade Runner was called Unicorn Runner, then that would kind of be on the same level as the elephants in, the Elephant Man. So I guess this one at least makes a bit more sense.
An interesting callback to that. I actually found out recently that when in Blade Runner when he picks up the unicorn,
right?
That's potentially to signify that dude knows that what's his face? What's the actual actor's name?
What, Harrison Ford?
Yeah, he knows that Harrison Ford is a replicant because he's aware of those memories that they put into him. So he's like just leaving that to show him that he's like, I know you're a replicant. Because there's a theory that Harrison Ford was actually a replicant the whole time. But anyway, that's old news.
Oh!
Yeah, so just kind of... Also, there was 7 different versions of that film.
You didn't tell me that.
No, I didn't know that until afterwards. So we watched the most appropriate one, apparently.
Oh,
so.
bloody hope so.
Yeah,
Jesus
well,
Christ.
And the narration. We were trying to work out who would be good as a narrator. Apparently, in the narration, because there is a copy where it's narrated, and it's just Harrison Ford, and he's just saying what he's doing. It's not even like he's just literally just like.
So right here, I'm not shooting anyone.
Now I am missing. Yeah. Anyway, old thing. So I really like that intro. Keiran didn't like that intro. Kieran's point is invalid.
All right.
Next thing I said, people don't wear hats like they used to, and that's sad.
That's a shame.
I wish that people could wear top hats without feeling like they're without people thinking, "Oh, what is this guy doing?"
Well, you can't. You can't unless everyone there is wearing a top hat.
Yeah.
Then you can't.
Yeah.
Even if you're wearing even trilbies these days, it's like you're a trilby person. You're a fedora guy.
Yeah. You're that guy.
Yeah, you're being that guy, and so any kind of it's a novelty hat, really. I mean, you're wearing one right now.
I am.
Best described as a beanie.
A beanie, yeah.
Okay, so you can wear beanies, snapbacks, like maybe baseball caps. I mean, not really in the UK, but like a bunch of different hats. But you can't really wear those other hats.
Well, it's just like an actual. I've heard it spoken about before. It's like just like a shift in society where we just stopped wearing hats and they stopped meaning the same things they used to. It was more of a sign of elegance and class, whereas now it's just maybe the same thing, but not really. It's more of a fashion accessory
they were a necessity, and I had really good facts on it about why hats were super necessary. Yeah. Start of the film, circus, looks incredibly loud. Yeah. There's so much going on there. There's so much going on, and there's everything that you see is so not legit. Like, all of the animal cruelty and all of that stuff. It's really, really, really not okay. And even like the point where they say there's no objection to freaks. That's one line they say, which is like, I mean, you know, it's of the time, but I still find it uncomfortable.
Well, you know, back in those times, because it's obviously based on a true story. Right. The guy, I don't think his name is actually John Merrick. It's like Joseph something. I can't remember now. I should know that. He would his handler, as it were, was actually supposedly not a dick, not a drunken buffoon, but actually like quite a bit more professional about it. He split all of the earnings with him, and in a week or in a month, Joseph would be taking in what normal families would be making in a year.
Really?
Yeah. So it's actually like, whilst he was spending time there, it wasn't actually that bad. This film is based off of mainly based off the memoirs of the doctor, whose name I can't remember at the moment. Anthony Hopkins. Like, I can't remember his name is.
Okay, because I mean, I don't know. There probably is some kind of minority of society that we're taking the piss out of, and we don't realise that we're taking the piss out of it, and that it's a bad thing that we're doing it. There's probably something about it now.
I had that thought as well, to be honest. Like, when you look back and you think, like, when freaks and stuff like that, freak shows used to be a thing.
What the hell? But
and
at
the time, people were cool with it. Same way that people used to go to hang-ins as a public display, and people would be laughing, and
same way that
some popcorn and stuff like that.
That minstrel shows was a thing.
Yeah, like it made me think, like, just what things are we doing these days that we're gonna, well, to be honest, it's clearly gonna be like environmental things, isn't it? Like, we're gonna look back and they'll be like, these guys like used to drive cars that had petrol. Yeah. Like, why were they doing that? And they knew that it was like destroying the world, and they kept doing it anyway.
It's like when you see stuff from like not even that long ago, but using the word gay as a derogatory term. Or something. That would be like in panel shows or whatever. That'd just be all over the place. Yeah. And it was like super, super funny. And I've even seen like videos of me doing like school performances and stuff.
Yeah, it was back in school. Yeah, I remember when it was
and like, you're gay, and everyone was laughing, and I'm like cringing at myself.
Yeah.
Young Keiran, why did you say that?
Yeah. Like, and now when you hear someone say it in that sense, wow, like that just sounds so stupid now.
Yeah, it just sounds really dumb. Anyway, cool. John?
That was John Merrick,
the doctor.
No.
Freddie. Freddie Treves.
Treves, yeah. Dr. Treves.
He does surgery and all that. Surgery looks pretty grim.
Right, yeah, I got a point on this. What was that surgery about? What was with the people, like, he was like, okay, can you pull the rope, please? And then water squirts from a little thing. What the fuck is that?
Okay, I've got an idea. I reckon the water squirts is to keep the thing hydrated so that they don't overstretch the skin. Maybe.
What?
So they had to pull
keeping the body hydrated.
Okay, well, you know why they were pulling the rope?
They were attached to the legs, weren't they, or something like that? Was it?
It was attached to a part of the body that was keeping everything apart, because they didn't have like clamps and shit that they can just attach the whole thing to.
Right.
So they had to pull like the body apart at those times, and I reckon the water was to keep the whole thing hydrated, so that the skin didn't like tear or something.
Oh mate, no, I can't get my head around what that was. To hydrate?
No, it's not getting
why would it get dehydrated that quickly? Like, you don't see in like surgery now, like someone come around with a little spray bottle and just quickly like douse the organs just to make sure they stay nice and moist.
Well, maybe they didn't know.
Maybe yeah. Fair enough. Maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, that just didn't make any sense to me. I was like, I really don't understand that.
Something that really bugs me when Frederick goes to look for the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
By the way, I thought it was pretty cool that we don't actually see the Elephant Man.
Yeah, I liked how that was done. It was like, what is it? Like, it's something like 20 minutes before you actually see him, or 15 minutes before you see him, and then 40 minutes before you even hear him talk.
Exactly.
And that
you don't even see his face for a while. You see his random parts of his
I
body.
like how they handled that.
Yeah. In the same way of what did we watch last week?
The Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah.
The way that you don't actually see that much of The Thing.
Yeah.
Because they might not have been able to do such an amazing, scary monster.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
today it'd be
well,
like over.
it took 8 hours to just apply that makeup. Yeah, and 2 hours to take it off. What's the actor? John Hurt.
Yeah.
He literally would come in at 5 a.m. and be working until like 10 a.m.
Yeah, he was amazing, by the way, in this film. I just thought he was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, as soon as he started talking, I was like, I need to put subtitles on.
Really?
Now, this is the thing, right? Because as it continued, I started to actually be able to hear what you were saying. But at the start, I really couldn't understand what he was saying for the majority of it. And I'm one of those people that's really anal about hearing absolutely every word.
Right.
Like, I'll watch a film with subtitles just if it's like a little bit quiet, because I just don't want to miss any words. I want to hear the everything. Yeah. So, and when I couldn't find subtitles on the totally legit version that I bought, there was no subtitles. So that was pretty annoying. But I just want to make a point, because you said when he went to go and first see the guy. My first favourite line: "I'd pay handsomely for a private showing." Who's handsome?
Yeah.
Dad, 1980. Like the original dad joke. Like,
absolutely brilliant.
I'd pay handsomely. Who's Handsome Lee?
That is like on the level of Ron Burgundy or the film Airplane.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
What about that tear, though? That Anthony Hopkins tear when he first sees it. How stirring was that?
I've got a point just before that. See where he's going through the alleyway?
Yeah.
There's shadows on the walls.
Yeah.
Bullshit. If it was actually real, then the light would have been coming from above, and there wouldn't be any shadows on the wall. Right?
Oh, bloody hell, that's a deep cut, Kieran.
Also, when Vite is turning on an oil lamp, there's loads of light that comes on in there. Absolutely bollocks. They should have just used the natural light that came from the oil lamp, and that would have been legit.
Okay.
So I had a beady eye for all of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Nothing gets past your eagle eyes.
When I first saw The Elephant Man, I couldn't help but think that he looks like someone took the character of E.T.
Yeah. He's just biggered him.
Just took a blowtorch to his face and just.
You know, the makeup was actually designed from a cast of the original Elephant Man.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, so that's literally that's legit what he would have looked like.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's something I can't say with 100% certainty, but they are sure that if there was a makeup category in the Oscars, this would have 100%.
Oh yeah,
and it has become similarly to The Thing, which we watched last week, which was in 1982. This one became a benchmark for makeup. That was just ridiculous. So they literally took, because there's samples of the original Elephant Man's body parts and casts taken and stuff like that. So they had access to that and designed it all based off of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think he looks like an elephant at all.
No,
I don't really
it's quite a stretch, isn't it?
Yeah.
To make him
very bulbous.
Yeah, exactly. I do workshops for disabled folk every week, and there's people who have disfigurements on their mouth and stuff. So I'm totally used to not understanding what someone's saying or trying to understand what someone's saying. Yeah. And so I understood everything the guy said straight away, because I'm used to worse than that all the time.
This is the point, because apparently... Sorry, no, go on.
Well, basically, that there were certain parts of the disfigurement that were just actually a lot more normal than you'd think. But all of the stuff on his back. Yeah. That's when I was like, okay, that's mental. It
reminded me of there's a phobia that I'm pretty sure I have, and one of my friends have. We've spoken about it before. We always have a sort of running joke about it, and it's a phobia of holes in things.
What?
Right? No,
mate. Are you scared shitless of Leerdammer?
What? Of what?
Swiss cheese.
Oh no! Holes in fleshy things. Yeah. So you know when you've got plants that have loads of seeds in them, even now thinking about it, I'm getting like cringed out. There's loads of pictures of it as well. If you Google it, guys at home, it's a phobia of holes in fleshy things, and they think that it came from like a natural instinct to be wary of rotting flesh.
What are you on about?
No, it's a legit thing.
What do you mean?
I'm not right. Okay, I'm gonna find it.
Like what kind of fruit has like so
pomegranate. When a pomegranate is like rotting, the holes where the seeds go become larger, and you can see the seed. Right. Okay.
Are
Google.
you scared of pumice stones?
No. I don't know. What do you mean?
Do you know what pumice stone is?
No. What's a pumice stone?
Oh,
Is it just a pomegranate stone?
no. Hey Siri, show me pictures of pumice stones. Well, that's not what I wanted. But...
Promise stones. Okay, Google. Phobia of holes in things.
According to Wikipedia, trypophobia is a proposed phobia of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps.
That is so weird.
And that's it, yeah. So it's like, when I saw that, it really reminded me of that. It like cringed me out a bit, because it's like that, it's close to that sort of like, yeah, holes and things. No. Anyway, move.
That's
move
mad. Okay.
on.
All right. So what's cool is that it's weird for a bit, but then you get over it and it's fine.
Yeah.
And you totally. I mean, I was really comfortable with how we looked by the end of the film.
No, yeah, that's sorry. That was the point I wanted to make about him talking. Was I felt as it went on, I started to get used to it a bit more. I could understand what you were saying. Apparently, in Dr. Treve would often act as an interpreter, but all the people that were around him regularly understood, like, developed an understanding of his sort of speech patterns and things like that. So I don't know if that was intentional or not. I feel like he started speaking a lot more coherently towards the end. I don't know if it was necessarily...
He probably got more used to saying things as well, because he was never talking.
There was less of the, like, slurping.
Yeah.
You know? Like, but why would that change, necessarily? I feel like maybe it might have been an actual on purpose, making him more coherent as the movie goes on, to sort of build your familiarity with him, feel like you've actually developed some sort of understanding.
Maybe, but if you hadn't spoken in so long because you're too frightened to speak...
True, yeah.
There's that thing. There's a point where Frederick Treves is showing the Elephant Man, because they're not quite buddies yet.
Yeah.
I
think I know what you're going to talk about. What you're going to say. Go on.
To the...
the yeah, like a sort of lecture sort of thing.
Yeah. First thing, which is not what you think it's going to be, is he says, "Good afternoon," and everyone says, "Good afternoon." I was fully expecting him to go, "Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Dr. Treves." I just wanted that so hard. Okay, what you are thinking? Okay, so his face mashed up, back mashed up, one part of his body mashed up, like only one leg's can use. Dick and balls. Absolutely fine. Ridiculous.
That wasn't the point I was going to make.
What?
That is a point, though. I mean, like, why? why is he even...
That's
it's so weird,
I mean, great. It's great. It's brilliant.
As you can see, the face has severe disfigurements. If you look at the severe curvature of the spine,
that was fun.
Club foot, and abnormal growth on the left hand. However, you will see that the genitalia remains perfectly normal. Let's pull down your trousers, shall we? Show everyone your normal cock and balls.
No, I reckon he was already naked.
No, he wasn't. You saw they pulled down the trousers.
Really?
Yeah, like they pulled it. There was a bit, and they used like things and pulled them down. Yeah.
To be fair, if I'm there seeing this guy, and they're like, "Oh, his cock and balls completely normal,"
yeah,
I'd probably want to see really, like how normal.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But then after that, they all stood up and applauded Dr. Treve.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's an amazing discovery.
It's amazing. He just found a dude on the street.
And did a medical diagnosis of it.
Did a medical diagnosis.
Analysis thing.
He did not make a medical analysis. He literally didn't say anything medical related at all. He just said, look, he's got growths here, and his spine's curved. Anyone could have made that sort of...
Because that's the scientific discovery of, that's unprecedented how, disfigured this person is.
I just feel like it made the scientific community to just look really, like, fickle, like, almost like he'd claimed ownership over it. over him purely by just bringing him in.
That was part of the film.
Yeah.
The way that people are wanting to visit him the same way that.
Yeah,
you know.
I really didn't like that part. I just thought.
Well, I think it's legit. I think that's a fair.
Yeah, that probably is how it would have happened, and like that's probably how it went down. But I just didn't really. No, you just wouldn't even get anything close to that these days, would you? Like parading a guy out and just being like, look, this. I suppose. No, there's just
exactly.
no. Yeah, it's just.
Apparently, so I've written this down. And he's 90% humus.
90%. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, now, so he goes back to Bites, and he smacks him, which I was just like, oh, I hate that so much. Just like abusive parents or abusive carers. It's like, oh,
it's weird, isn't it? That relation, like Bites, is just such a strange character.
he's
It's
such
like
a fucked up person.
so.
He's drunk and all of this.
Before that happened, I got distracted because that's when I got the message through about the Flight of the Conchords tour.
Okay.
I was so excited that I wrote that in my notes.
That's why you brought that up. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No, but then like back to Bites. Yeah, like he was just like beating him. He was like, "Where did you go?" But like, he looks sad. It's like,
Well, he was drunk as hell, and just
Yeah.
really not okay. And also, when Treves come back, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna take him because he's had a real serious fall." Am I right?
Yeah.
And Bites is like grabbing him by the lapels, and it's it's really manipulative and really, really weird. That was horrible. But when they go back into the hospital, I noticed that there was a sign on the wall that said "Be quiet, please" or something like that. And I just made a note. The old-timey signs are great.
Yeah.
I just really like the way
old-timey signs. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they're really cool.
You at that point though, when he's grabbing him.
Yeah.
Another one of my favourite quotes from this film.
Yeah.
When the big doctor man comes in, Professor Doctor, big head doctor man,
Big super
comes
doctor.
in, diffuses the situation. Guy walks off. A singularly unattractive fellow, I would say.
Yes,
I love that.
absolutely
It was just
brilliant.
brilliant.
What a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend. There's this point where they're in the theatre, and I can't remember the name of the
This
lady.
is quite later on, isn't it? Oh, wait, no. Yeah.
No, so they're showing this actress lady or whoever it is that she's getting her makeup done or something. But they go through the theatre and they start in the orchestra pit. Did you see the conductor's baton?
No.
Mad. He had some crazy baton, like nothing I've ever seen before. It was like some crazy extended magic wand. It was really, really cool.
I really hope that because they read that newspaper article again, didn't they? When the dick guy that brings them all to show, it read the same thing out again. I really hope that's actually a legit cut-in from a newspaper, because it could quite easily be. That would be a nice little touch. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be cool.
I have to go back to a point. Sorry, something I forgot about.
Yeah.
So after the medical thing, before the point where Super Doctor is before he interrogates John, and before John wows them with all of his amazing speech. So when Frederick first takes John Merrick into that little room, when he first takes him into that room, and there's that nurse that goes upstairs with the food, I was worried that John was going to fuck up this nurse. And I thought,
really?
Yeah, because I still wasn't sure what kind of film it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I thought, is it going to be a thing where the Elephant Man starts abusing this like loads of people and it's going to become some kind of monster? I was worried it was going to be that, but it wasn't, luckily. But did you see what it was that John Merrick was doing when the nurse came into the room?
He was just sitting there, wasn't
He was having a wank! He was having a wank! Jordan, I'm deadly serious. I swear down to you, John Merrick, the Elephant Man, like 5 minutes in that fucking hospital, and he was having a wank already.
Really?
Yes! He had his hands down his trousers. I swear to you.
How are you so serious? How are you so sure of that?
I'm absolutely certain, because his trousers weren't done.
I'm gonna have to go back and confirm this, because that's just.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll look for that to confirm.
Honestly, really, really weird. And why would you do that when you literally just been sitting in that hospital for like 10 minutes, and John Tree's gonna get you some food or something, and like I understand you might not have had a load of privacy in that little place that bike's just keeping you.
To be fair.
Yeah, you know, and
Yeah.
but surely you're just going to want to have a little sleep or something first. So you're not going to want to have some respect for the place that you're in. Get comfortable there first. Have one night of sleep. I'm saying. I don't think you need to christen the room that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if that is what he's doing, which I'm still not sure.
I'm so sure he was. Sure he was.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Oh man, that was so weird. Okay,
but when that actress actually comes to visit him,
right,
I found that scene to just be so. There were so many, like, so much tension and like strange pauses and awkward silences that didn't feel like they needed to be there at all. It's just really uncomfortable to watch. Yeah, for me. Did you not feel?
I felt it was perfect.
Really? No, because there was just so many moments where it was just like she's looking at him and she's like, he's just said something, or she's just said something, and it's just like a silence, and she's looking at him like expecting him to say something, and then she realizes something and stops.
Exactly. That's the point of the scene.
If the purpose of that scene was to make me feel uncomfortable, then that's exactly was successful, and that's what it did.
But the cool thing is that I'm so glad that I felt like this actress had his best interests at heart. Like she was so rooting for him the whole time, and she really liked him. She really, really liked him. And okay, so she gave him a signed picture of herself, which I guess back in the day would have been really cool. If someone gave me a signed picture of themselves, I'd be like, okay, big-headed of yourself. And then she gives him Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. And then they just start doing it.
Well, wait. Like, he leafs through the book, everything, gets to, like, a good chunk through the book, like page 300, is reading it, and says, oh, Romeo and Juliet. You looked at the front cover, you looked at the spine of the book, you've been looking through loads of the book, and you can tell that it's already Romeo and Juliet.
It might have been a collection of Shakespeare stories, though, because that was a really big book. I don't think Romeo and Juliet is that long. And that's a good point. Huge. Yeah, I think it'd be more likely to be a collection.
It's a good point, but surely, I think.
No, I'm taking that as a win, Kieran.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that as a win. That's all right. 1-0 to Jordan. Cool. All right. Okay, and also, no one can read Shakespeare straight off the bat. There's no way that you can just start
watching him read that. He read too far ahead to be able to recall and say with like such emotion as well. He was full Royal Shakespeare Company at that point.
Yeah. Like he was RSC level, like full professional. Like he knew what he was doing, and I thought, nah. But get in there though. Got a little cheeky peck off.
Got a little peck on the side.
Get absolutely right in there.
Yeah,
yeah.
Nice.
And also, I've written here. You know, he made that cathedral out of paper.
Yeah.
Come on, the dude's got one hand.
But that actually happened. Like it wasn't. He didn't make it himself.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. But they made it look in the film as if he did the whole thing. And I've written, there's no way he did that cathedral, but a sick job. So like, props to him for doing it. But absolutely no way that he did it all by himself.
In real life, there is one that you can go and see the cathedral that he made. It's still there, like in somewhere. I think it's in like the place where he actually was. His room is actually not where it is situated. It's not actually where it's situated in the film. It's somewhere else.
Right.
But he was making a model that was already pre-created.
Right.
But even like basically the fastest time anyone's ever created the model was 17 hours. And he only had like his left hand and like primitive tools to do it with. So it is still he did actually make something like that. It wasn't like he created it completely from scratch, but he did like a really challenging one, and it was very impressive. Okay. And you can go and see it. So Mr. Broadnick got parred by the Princess of Wales, didn't he?
Oh,
I love that.
Oh my days!
It was just like, are we going to vote on this? Yes, I think it's about time, actually.
Absolutely shut down.
Yeah, I loved that bit. I was just like,
that was brilliant. That was awesome. Also, there's that point. All right, so we're skipping quite far ahead. After that really horrific scene where the caretaker guy, I want to call him the caretaker, or like he's like the night watchman, not watchman, but you know, he's like the night security guard or something, and he takes all those people from the pub and like basically abuse him.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's hard. That's hard to watch. Yeah. By that point, you've really developed an emotional attachment to the character.
Exactly. I'm really invested in John now, and it's like, oh that was really hard God, that was really hard.
Yeah. And then he gets taken away, and that leads me on to my next.
Wait. the point that I had
Wait.
is that he does get taken away, but just before I think you're gonna go too far ahead. The mother, yeah. So mother, what's her face? The like lead nurse or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So Treves goes over to this night watchman guy and he goes mental at him, pushing him and everything. They're having a little fight. Yeah.
You're done. You're finished.
Yeah. Exactly. And this guy is like, the mother nurse woman is the only one who could get rid of me.
Yeah.
And then the nurse woman, smacks him around the head.
Yeah, with a book.
Well, okay. Now this really, I didn't like this bit at all because I thought that's really inaccurate. She went round to like John's room with this package, in her hand, this book or whatever it was, as if she was going to give it to John, and she's just holding it like it's it's just a parcel. It's no big deal. It's just a thing, And so she goes in his room. Oh shit, he's not there. Let me go back to wherever it is. Goes to where the night watchman guy is. Goes behind him and smacks him on the head. She lifts this thing up and smacks him on the head, and this guy's out cold.
Yeah.
He is out, like, for long. And there's no way that this old woman is carrying something willy-nilly. Like, there's no way. Like, what could it be that could knock someone out, but you can just carry like that?
Yeah.
I've written here, I don't really want to say what I've actually written, but Bites is such... He's just the worst. Yeah. Now, I've got a little theory.
Email your theory.
Yeah. This... Nice. This doesn't add up. But let's imagine a universe where Willy Wonka is
I like where this is going.
is related to Bites.
Oh, okay. That was not... okay.
Bites is Wonka's, like... younger brother, but that wasn't so successful, and so the only thing he can do
got all the craziness, just not the creativity.
But the reason why I say this is because Gene Wilder's portrayal of Willy Wonka at the end of the film, he's like freaking out, the same kind of way that when you see Bites' crazy hair and his trembling lip and all of that shit, and Gene Wilder could at the end of that film of Willy Wonka could have easily been an alcoholic as well. On some like mad drugs or whatever. So I know it's not quite the same time frame.
I'd see that movie, the brother of Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah. So, when they got to that point and all of the carnival freaks take him away, and get him out, the dwarf guy, like they get him all out. The dwarf guy's like, shh.
Yeah.
And he keeps walking, and he's carrying a car on
my
wheels
God,
that's so loud.
Exactly.
And it's like, mate,
exactly. That's exactly what I thought. He's like, "Don't be quiet."
Stupid.
By the way, what was that horn that the really tall guy was playing?
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it?
That
it was like
really
some weird
cool.
like trumpet that had been like,
but I thought it was
like a pregnant trumpet or something. Like a blowfish,
Yes, like he was playing like a metal version of a blowfish.
Yeah.
Well, that was really cool. I'd like to know what that was.
So when John, sorry, did you have another point about it? When John gets to back to London, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. I'm okay. A bit before that, how was he travelling? Did he steal money from Bites?
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, the carnival people were in the actual times. He was earning like more money than most people. So maybe they clubbed together and got him just a boat ticket, because all he needs is like one boat ticket and a train ticket, I'm assuming, to get to London. Yeah. It probably would have been the easiest, one of the only places to get to, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
and I guess they probably so they all stayed in France.
Yeah.
They must have stayed in France.
They must have been.
Yeah, because he was talking French.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
At that thing, and so they're all like they probably all stayed in France, and they probably made a deal like, oh, can you sort us out when you get back to London? You make a bit of money. Can you send us some? Probably hooked him up. I don't know why the kid didn't go with him. Because the kid was clearly thinking about it. He looked at the trailer where Bites was. Yeah. And he looked at them all running away.
Yeah. Well, we didn't actually see him mistreating the kid. I mean, he probably did, but
I mean, when you're next to someone that abusive, you're pretty much getting abused by proxy. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Oi, mister, why is your head so big? I creased up so much of that. It's great. Just gets off the train. Oi, mister, why is your head so Mister, why is your head so big?
It was a little bit Oliver Twist at that point.
It was great,
wasn't it?
And the kids just start following him. It's just like...
Yeah, and then they all chase him. Like it was a bit like Oliver Twist, Mary Poppins, like catch that man! Why don't you catch that man? It was really, really weird.
Yeah, it was just like a mob all of a sudden. It was very strange. Very strange. Like they all, like that many people followed him. David Lynch, the director, had a cameo in that.
Of course he did. That would have been
that would have been it.
Yeah, I don't know who he was though. Do you know?
Oh no, he was somewhere in the
just
back.
man crowd.
Man in crowd.
Yeah. Quickly, the theatre show that he went to see. What the fuck was that show? What was going on?
We've come a long way.
That was
It was the story of the man in the cat suit, because it couldn't have been a story about a man as a cat, because that just didn't. That would not pass.
What the hell was going on? Like there's.
I think obviously it was supposed to be like a montage of it. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a montage, but still, it was just so absurd, and I just loved the way that everyone was like dressed in their, you know, tops and tails and all of this, and all the ladies looking wonderful and all this, and yet on the stage it's just complete chaos.
Yeah,
it's absolute havoc, and it was like, "Hey, absolutely wonderful. That was brilliant. Must come back next week, darling." And then, what the hell's going on? Whereas now you've just got like old Joe from the street going to watch the opera or anything. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, that last scene just got me right in the feels as well.
What? The when he kills himself?
Yeah.
And who put a picture of a person sleeping in his room? Like just a person sleeping normally.
Yeah.
Is that nothing if not? Look at this dude. He can sleep and you can't. Like, are you crying? Are you crying?
No, I've just got a little sniffle, mate.
That's a lie. Kieran's crying.
Bawling my eyes out, mate. Really, really sad. But the whole thing about him being like, "Oh, I really wish I could sleep."
Yeah.
Like, I like the way that carried on throughout the film, and he'd look at the picture every now and then or whatever, and like just him being so content at the end. Yeah. Like, he put his signature on the cathedral.
Yeah. When the bit when he's talking to Dr. Truth and he's saying, you know, I'm happy every day, every hour of the day, and that, and it's just like when you see, so he has like a rise up into just a much higher quality of life, and then goes back down to being fuck all again, and then gets back to it. I think like that's why I'm so conflicted with it in terms of how I feel, because it's sad that he's decided to. Because did he? I mean, he knew he was going to die. Surely he knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
So like, but it's like almost as if like he's reached this point where it's like it's so great. I don't want to ever go back to that low point, and like I just don't see any. Like, he's already asked a question about can he be cured. He knows he can't be cured. He knows he's going to be like that.
Also, there was that bit where the maid says, or the nurse, says, "Lady, what's her face does know that he's dying, doesn't she?" And the older nurse says, "Yes, she does."
Oh.
Because the nurse, the younger nurse, is like, I can't remember the name of the whoever it is. I was like, "The lady is so lovely of her to give me her dress, isn't she?" And so she gives her a dress. And also, Miss Head Nurse, she does know that Mr. Merrick is going to die, doesn't she? And she's like, yeah.
I don't remember that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his disease was.
So it is prefaced
degenerative. I mean, his condition was worsening, but I didn't realise that they really highlighted that in the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, interestingly, I mean, they don't actually know what it was that he had. There's like strong theories that it was. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the actual thing, but it's like MF or something like that. Like microfibrillary, something, and there was another, and then later on there was another one that they thought it was, but they've never actually confirmed it because they don't have. He's not alive now. They can only make assumptions based on like DNA fragments that they've got now.
Wow.
But they never actually really. They can't say with 100% certainty what it was that he had.
That's crazy.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Matt.
Yeah. So, I mean,
if you were a character from the film, who would you be, and what would you do?
I would probably be Bites, and I'd just kill myself.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's a slippery slope, so it's pretty much into that anyway.
I mean, like, just what is he doing? Like, he's so deluded, and so like he's clearly just completely unhappy with his life and living in sewerage. Like, I don't understand why he's still staying alive.
Staying alive.
Staying alive.
If I was to bring someone else in, I'd bring Michael Parkinson, and he'd do a sick interview on this show.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Who would you be though?
Well, I'd be Michael Parkinson,
Okay.
and I'd be like, "Come on to my show,
Yeah.
and I'll interview you in front of everyone." And then, imagine having John Merrick on Parky.
Yeah.
It'd be
great,
so
wouldn't it?
good.
Yeah.
That'd be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So John, what do you think of Dr.
Yeah.
Shreve? Oh, it's lovely. Really nice. Such a noble face.
Yeah.
So, Kieran, are you staying indoors for this one?
Absolutely staying indoors. This was this is great. I've already recommended this film to other people. I thought it was brilliant, and especially because it was such a transformation from what I thought the film was going to be about.
Yeah. Yeah, stay indoors. Don't go outside. It's colourful out there. Stay inside and be black and white and cry.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, just before we say goodbye, we want to tell you that you can find us and stay up to date with everything 250 Reasons at 250 Reasons on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You could also subscribe on
Apple Podcasts. You can subscribe on Acast, Podbean, Stitcher. That's it.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, no, and that one too.
There you go.
But we also wanted to say you're awesome. Keep being awesome. Don't let them get to you. Bye.
Bye.